Hello, my name is Patrick Gourdet, and welcome to presentation one for CIS 4914. Today is Sunday, June 10th, 2018. The summary basically is going to be composed of what kind of project I actually chose, my motivation, the actual problem that my project will attempt to solve, and the method that I'd like to use to solve it. I decided to use machine learning or decided to implement machine learning for my senior project. Why? Because I found machine learning, which is part of artificial intelligence, to be a highly interesting area for myself. From watching it as a kid, from Terminator all the way up to The Matrix, I found to find autonomous robots running on programs, making decisions and seemingly human-like decisions to be very interesting. But scaling that further down, way down, I decided that the problem that I would like to solve is actually predicting the stock market. How am I going to go about that? I would like to actually use sentiment analysis of news articles to then compare over time to see if that would actually accurately determine the actual stock market. This is the basic project plan from week 1 all the way up to week 12. As we know, summer is a little bit shorter. Therefore, it's like everything is a little bit, how would I say, more condensed. And we need to get things done a little bit faster. I'm hoping that everything goes according to plan. As long as there aren't any major pivots that we actually need to implement along the way. These are the references that I actually utilize. Most of them already have some news, some sentiment analysis for news headlines to pull out the actual sentiment, whether angry or happy, those type of things. Also, the tutorials that I actually viewed in order to grasp the actual complete concept and perhaps add on to it. I also have the documentation for most tutorials here. Not tutorials, but for the most instruction or libraries that I'd actually utilize for pre-processing and regression analysis. Here we are at the actual meat of the presentation, the problems and the solutions. I noticed that there's a major problem finding relevant data. I knew that the smartest place to receive data would definitely be on the internet. I then progressed to actually find a tool to scrape or retrieve that data, which I decided upon Octoparse, which was a very, very useful tool, I can say. But finding a good website that actually back archived its data was very difficult. I luckily found that Wall Street Journal actually back archives its data from 2010 all the way up to 2018. I then scraped each page for 136 news articles over 365 days for 8 years. I then found a data set for all stock markets dating back to 1987 to 2017 for all stock market opening and closing values. I wanted to then clean the data and noticed that that was a very difficult task, as the data is not matched up, it's aligned the way the actual ordering is in certain ones. The one doesn't, like the stock market is not open on the weekends, therefore the news data for the weekends cannot necessarily take a role in the actual analysis. So what we then decided after talking to Pete was to actually confine that and just utilize a test data set to do logistic regression. Using the logistic regression for a baseline, we then will see what further steps are to be taken, if this is a good route to go or if we are going to go ahead and have to pivot at this point. That was my basic problem and solutions that I currently have. I'm hoping that these will then be further implemented in a later point in time. Thank you.